head fell out. Hey guys. Well, like I said, I know it's an unscheduled stream, but hey, do not adjust your television sets. Check it out. It is the new office. This is what I've been working on all week. Like I said, and it is, man, there's still a lot to be done. But as you can see, holy crap, Batman, how awesome does this look? So, like I said, the walls gotten done, all the stuff is up. And of course, if you have not noticed the incredible quality of the setup here, so we're not just using a webcam. We've actually got the DSLR set up. We've got lights. The Yeti mic is actually hanging right here. So this is like super nice. I mean, this is pro quality stuff here. And man, what an effort it has been. Quite literally from last Friday. So a full 8 days at this point has been required to get this thing put together and set up. But man, I just cannot get over how much better this is looking. Just how freaking awesome. And let me tell you, putting up all these damn tools was pretty crazy. So it's at 4-3. Well, like I said, we're still tinkering with a couple of the with a couple of the settings or whatnot. Like I said, this is actually the main computer system as opposed to the laptop. So this is again, there's still going to be a couple of kinks I have to work out, but damn, doesn't she look good? Like I said, I'm very stoked. Now I've got crap stacked on boxes and duct taped together. I've got a couple of other lights coming in a new stand, about another $100 worth of stuff. But we are quickly getting to where this is. Well, now the great thing is that I can come right in on the main system and go ahead and do this, and it's going pretty good. The other great thing about this is the fact that we got played with the settings, and now there's only about a 2 or 3 seconds delay in you seeing me and it coming through. So that means that I'm able to actually go through here and see the comments a lot more in real time than it was before. And again, this was all in the settings, and it all had to do just with me not knowing how to set the damn thing up. So here's the education. If you think that's a lot of froze, you all see the other room. There's a lot of crap here. I just had to stop. I think I've got 10 different full size, which is kind of ridiculous, but I'm trying to find a place to put them up. But we're going from there. But again, everything is looking pretty freaking awesome, and I am excited about it. I wanted to, like I said, just want to do a quick live stream today, and I figured I'd put a question up, and then of course we'll open everything up for Q&A as we always do. I'm interested to see, like I said, how much easier it's going to be with the quick chat response, because before I have to go back and and wait for so freaking long. It's just not great. But this is pretty damned awesome. So it has been raining now for almost a week and a half. It's very soggy out there, so we haven't had a chance to go out into the forge. We literally have planned rain coming in all week. Like, we're not going to see sunshine until 7 days, until Saturday this time next week. So a lot of what we're going to be doing this week is most likely going to be inside. The water table is crazy. I mean, let me tell you how bad it is down here. When you pee and you flush, the water rises and it doesn't go down. And so there's this huge anxiety now, of will it flush? Because the water table is so high. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be floating the Brown October out in the yard before too terribly long. But anyway. Let's see. We had freeze coming. Hey, Jake. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it's going to be, boy, if it froze down here, everybody would just die. But anyway, since we are at 3 o'clock, and that is the promised scheduled time to start, I wanted to bring up a quick topic. A lot of the times the things I speak about are going to be coming from, some of the forums that I own, because there is a, to say that there is a wellspring of bad comments that come out of things like blacksmithing for beginners and blacksmithing enthusiasts is an understatement. However, it is a target-rich environment for topics for me to speak about when I come over here to do the live stream, and today is no different. And here's the thing. So I've said this, I've screened this a lot before, and you know, if somebody asks a question and you don't know the answer, the best thing you can do is shut your mouth. Don't pontificate an answer. Don't just kind of work something out and throw it out there to the ether simply because you're most likely wrong. And those wrong answers can get magnified. That's how stupid starts, very much like the magnetic north and everything else. Once upon a time, I remember in the 80s, this is pre-internet days, that I remember that there was a quote from somebody that talked about that the issues that we were having is we just can't get information to people, and the reason that people are so stupid and there are so many problems is because we just can't get information to people. Then the internet happened, and now the stupid has multiplied, and so it was never a question of getting the information to people, it was getting the right information to people. And of course, that's one of the reasons I'm such a bear when it comes to things on blacksmithing for beginners. Whereas most of the times a smart person would just shut their mouth and do the deal. I don't. So here's the problem. All your beginners are going to get out there and they see a lot of people using crap like rebar and bad tongs and just bad things in general. And they say, well, somebody else is using it, therefore it's got to be at least a reasonable idea. And that is absolute horsepucky. Rebar is the main topic I want to get on today because so many people, and I don't know why so many people are so enamored with rebar. There's so much other material out there to be had, but yet somehow rebar keeps coming up time and time again. Now, one of the other aggravations, and I say this, the caveat, because every time that I take a point on something, and of course, unless you're talking about a very specific item, you're having to speak in relative generalities. So when I say rebar is bad, there's the one guy out of 2 million that got a piece that didn't break or blow up, and he goes, well, actually, these are just problem people. If you don't understand why that's a problem, then there's no hope for you. So let's start off. Rebar. Rebar is the bottom of the barrel. So when you have a foundry or a place like that that's taking in scrap metal, you've got all different flavors of stuff, and they just basically throw it all into a big pot. They don't clean it, they don't wipe it off, they don't do anything to it, and this stuff is poured out and extruded into rebar. So what this means is that there is really no idea what is in that rebar. There's going to be all types of alloying elements of various concentrations. The carbon content can literally be different from, if you're on one side of the bar and they're 12 inches, the carbon content can be 100 points difference. Seen this happen. So it is the crap material that's out there. The biggest issue with rebar is that carbon content, because if it was like mild steel and it was consistent, you can do something with that. I mean, again, most of the time when I talk about making tongs, we make tongs out of mild steel, which are going to be 18 points of carbon, super low on that end of it. And that's not a terrible thing. It has a good application, because if you use it for tongs, that means that when you're cooling them off, they don't harden up and they don't crack. However, when you get into things like rebar, then what happens is that you make your tong, and then should you happen to have a higher carbon point at the jaw than the ring, as soon as you cool it, it's going to crack. There are not many pairs of rebar tongs out there that don't crack, simply because at some point in that bar, there's going to be a bad mix of carbon or other junk. Now, here's the thing. I can't even say it's always going to be carbon that's going to cause the problem, because there's so much crap in the rebar. It's like going out and taking a shovel full of dirt and trying to dig out the calcium or minerals in it. It just does not work that way, okay? All right, so there are so many better options of rebar. And I hear people, and again, here's the thing. I know I'm getting kind of preachy, but this is so frustrating to me because I will often make the statement, hey, rebar is bad, don't use it. There's always going to be the snot nose that says, hey, I made a pair of tongs one time. I don't care. It's bad material. Nobody cares if you got lucky one time out of 100. The point is that in the biggest, broadest terms, there's so much better material out there to start with. Any of your local welding shops, any of your local fab shops will have buckets, have oodles of mild steel for you to use. And here's the other thing. If you are so broke that you cannot buy a $10 stick of metal, blacksmithing is not one of the hobbies that you want to be in. I saw a video today that came out in Blacksmithing for Beginners that said, I'm building a 2x72 sander at no cost. That is garbage. That is a lie. That is a clickbait title. That is garbage. And if the person who put that up actually thinks that, then they're stupid. Period. They're idiot. They're an idiot. There is no such thing. You're going to have to pay for the tools that you get, whether it's going to be in time that you spend working on it. The only way that's true is if somebody came over and gave him the sander. So that's it. The only zero cost sander or the zero cost equipment is the one that's given to you. And even then you got to go pick it up. So, all right. But stay away from rebar. I hear a lot of people say, well, it's good practice. No, it's not good practice, because if the carbon content or the chromium content is high, it's not going to work like the majority of materials you're going to be at. Take the time, take a little bit of money, go buy proper steel, get proper steel. Just stay away from the rebar, because nothing that you're going to make out of the rebar is going to be a good product. And here's the other thing. Let's say you make some wall hooks out of rebar. Fine. If they work in your house, that's great. They are still crappy rebar hooks. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. If you care about your work and you want to become a better smith and you want to get better at what you do, you're going to, at some point, have to start using better materials. And I have a problem here. And again, I hear them already starting. Well, rebar is the only thing I've got access to. No. If you can make that statement, I'm going to say you have not in any way lifted a finger to actually go and find proper material. Actually, let's see, Lone. I find rebar real useful. I weld in my billets and handles, work with a power hammer. Lone, I got to tell you something. That's probably the first good idea I've heard for rebar, period. So, yeah, but Lone has discovered the one use for rebar, and that's using it to weld up handles for Damascus on the power hammer. That's power to you, sir. Okay. So, yeah, stay away from rebar. And there are some times, and now the only other thing is it is a perpetual flood of people saying, hey, what can I use mystery junk steel X for? And it is hard not to be a jackass when I see those questions come through. It's tough. It's tough on me, guys. It's real tough, because I want to just beat them in the head with a stick. Because the thing is that there's no way. And it's not like these people just woke up to the internet. Now, this is what the thing is, because if I say something, I usually get people getting on my case. Well, Trent, these are new guys. They're just learning. You shouldn't be so rough on them. It is not these folks' first day on the internet. If you assume they just suddenly woke up and just stepped into it, that might be excusable. That's not the case. These are people with the entire sum total of human knowledge at their fingertips. It is not my responsibility to keep them from being dumbasses. So if they step into a blacksmithing group and the first thing they do is, hey, I need to know X, and they haven't Googled it or even prepared themselves in any way, I don't have a lot of time for them, just the way it is. Hang on, wait. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Come here, you gotta meet the internet.
What's up, internet?
Hey, guys, this is Frank Klapka. Thank you. Yes, this is Rent.
Sure.
Hey, Frank, you want to put something other side in your groin in the picture?
No, I'm a little delayed here.
Just a couple seconds. So.
Look at that.
It's just a little delay reaction. You're good to go.
I didn't exhibit
You're like
A.
a fashion. You're like a weird fashion model. You got the navy coat and the cowboy hat.
I
You're
just
like,
threw it together, man.
yeah, just
Just an outfit thrown together.
like you were a
put my makeup
cowboy
on.
sailing to Australia on a navy ship, but then got abandoned in somewhere.
I got lost along the way.
Got lost somewhere
Man,
along
I'm well traveled.
But anyway, everything's looking good, man. We've got 70 folks watching, so it's
Really?
very cool. Yeah.
Good for them.
So it's
on
a good
Saturday.
Saturday. On a Saturday, we are all losers.
Yes, we
We're
are.
all losers.
Yes, we are.
So, cool. Everything good?
Excellent. Yeah, yeah.
We'll do some- Thank you.
Oh.
Haven't had a candy bar in a while. Anyway, what was I bitching about? Yes, rebar. Rebar sucks. Rebar sucks greatly, and people need to do some research.
All right, I'll take note of that.
Yeah, don't forget that, Frank. Put down the rebar. Say no to rebar. Anyway, everybody that's looking for different steels, especially when it comes to knife making and things like that, everybody's always looking for junkyard steels, and it's a terrible, terrible idea. And the crazy thing is, nobody seems to do a bit of research. I mean, the opinions that I'm espousing are pretty much mirrored by every other professional that I know. I mean, there's some nuance there, but this is pretty much the professional stance. And it is amazing that when I go into one of these chat rooms, the challenges that I get from people who literally have a forge they fired up twice, maybe in their front driveway. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's hard not to be a butthole when it comes to them people, but I try. I make an effort. So anyway, stay away from rebar. If you're going to be working in knife steels, buy your knife steel. You know, now here's the one exception. Here's the one exception that I'll put out there. Leaf springs, specifically leaf springs that come out from the backside of one of the trucks, like a Chevy 1500, are almost always going to be 5160 or something very, very close to that. So it's a safe bet. If there's anything I could tell you out there to go get, it would be that. But here's the problem. And you don't hear me recommend that a lot. And so there's a reason. And here's the reason. You've got a beginner. Out there that wants to start smithing, and they say, "Ooh, I need some free blade steel." Okay? The smallest leaf spring that you're going to find that's off of a truck is usually going to be roughly 2.5, 3 inches wide, okay? And is going to be a minimum of 3/8 to a 1/2 inch thick. Now, to beat that down into something that's going to be blade steel sized, you better have eaten all of your Wheaties, had a good breakfast, and better have all day and 3 or 4 friends, because before you can even reduce that to the size that you need, your arms are going to be blown out as a beginner. Even as somebody who is pretty much in shape for hammering, it's going to be a bad day. The reason I don't do it anymore, because it's too much damn work. You spend all the time actually hammering something out instead of actually making the blade, because you're reducing stock. So the thing is, Niels Vanderberg. What? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hang on. We have a moment here. Wally, people who we don't do the legwork for asking questions, something we call an asshole. See a credit to Niels Vanderberg. Wait a damn minute. Hang on a second. Niels Vanderberg, my ass. You don't go nowhere. You hang right there. No, sir. Let's see. Can you hang on? Hang on a minute. Let's see what the good book has to say. I am pretty sure I have asshole in here. Neil Vanderberg can kiss my butt. I know I put it in here. Oh, let's see. Page 2. The fellow that just asked my opinion then proceeds to disregard everything I just said and explains how he does it. I refer to this phenomenon as being an asshole. Niels Vandenberg bought a good book, is what he did. Suck it, Neil. I'm glad he's wearing pants. Yeah, you shut your mouth. Anyway. All right. Yeah, now we read from chapter 1, Gospel of Trent. So, guys, the biggest thing here is, again, if you're going to be new and you're going to be working on materials, stay away from rebar. It's just a bad idea. Second thing, if you're going to be working blade steels, go buy a steel. Get a 1080. 1075, 1080 never went wrong. I see people that have like hammered out one piece of poo-poo trying to buy the 80 CRV2. I mean, these super expensive blade steels, and in their mind that it's going to make this, this incredible blade, and yet they don't have an oven to actually heat treat it properly. That's the staggering thing. So if you're a beginner, no rebar. Either leaf spring, or better yet, go buy some 1080, and you will be absolutely phenomenal in your work and your education. So, all right. So, guys, like I said, we got 72 folks here on a Saturday. It's fantastic. Like, I got a couple things I got to do this afternoon, but let's go ahead and open the floor for questions. If you guys don't know how this works, every time we do a live session, at the end of my little rant, my little speech, we open the floor for questions. And if you have any question related to the topic, anything else, please feel free. Just pop it right here in the comments and I will answer it. While I'm waiting for all of those to get in there, a couple things, guys. If you are wanting to help support this live stream, which we are going to start doing weekly, probably bi-weekly, if you'll look in the description, there is a link to the stream donation page. If you really want to help out and become one of the 60 or 70 people now that are my Patreons, there's a link there as well. And if you would like the Gospel of Trent in book form, you can get that at trentontie.com. Of course, the link's in the description. All right, let's see what questions we got. Okay. Got all kind of new folks here. High-grade wrought iron. 3 foot of 1095 is $20 on Amazon. Yep. Lauren, beginner question. Why won't my leaf spring tomahawk weld to itself? Lauren, because the 5160 is a high alloy steel. It's actually a chromium steel, and they have a real problem going to be fusing to itself. Again, the 5000 series is a chromium steel. Chromium steel does not weld very well. Can be done, but it's super, super tough. And you say here, but it's still hard to beat. Oh, no, excuse me. I misread that. Still hard to beat. No, wrong question. My bad. Acres, Jakey boy, Trent. I can get 3 NASCAR rear axles a week. What's your opinion on top tools and possible hammers for this kind of stock? Jake, it should be something along the lines of 4140. The application for that steel is not bad. Shouldn't be a problem. If you can get your hands on it and it's cheap and easy, I'd absolutely use it. Try it out. Lockley, when you hammer the poo-poo, is it better to use safety squints or a full face shield? Now, this is where you're going to have a little bit of an issue, or I'm going to have some issue with some other people, because when you're forging, unless you're doing some heavy forge welding, you can get away with the safety squints. Like I said, blacksmiths did it for a long time. It is better that you have your safety glasses on or some type of eyewear, period. But because you're over the work, you're rarely going to have a problem on that end of it. Always a good idea to have your safety glasses, but hammering over the top of a piece of steel is kind of the last place I would ever be really worried about getting something in my eye. But yeah, always wear your glasses, but that's one of the easiest ones there. Corey, Trent, I asked a question earlier. Hey, Corey, ask it again. We're way down in the chat. Jeff Cummings, hardening of anvil-shaped object. No reason. If you have an anvil-shaped object, don't bother even hardening. No need to. You're not going to work on it enough to damage that thing. Back in the day, the reason they hardened the surface of the anvil was because wrought iron was super soft, and they were using this thing every day, all day. And so you would actually get wear. And when I say wear, I mean not something that's braided. It would literally mush out of shape. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about hardening it. Use it. You cannot use it enough to mess it up. Mark Goggin, Trent, any luck on looking at that reasonable price steel near me? Mark, give me. I saw that go through, and like I said, did not even look. Where are you located, Mark? I can do a quick search and find out something. Max Gamer, are railroad spikes overhyped? Max, that is an understatement. I've actually made a couple of videos that I've taken quite a bit of heat for about that. Railroad spikes are terrible. They're look, it's a knife. You can stab somebody in the neck, but it's not going to be a good knife in any shape, form, or fashion. It does not have enough carbon. Can you stab somebody with it? Yes. But is it a good knife? No. So, yeah, railroad spikes are incredibly overhyped. Jay Borgstrom, are vehicle coil springs also 5160? Jay, oftentimes they are something close, but a lot of the times they can be a little bit different. You shouldn't notice a supreme difference, but they usually tend to be a bit of a different alloy simply because of the way that they're designed. Understand that every batch of steel is unique. And so a lot of the times what we're doing is we're not mentioning specific steels in specific places. We're saying that if something's got to do this, it's going to have these similar properties. Coil springs, again, tend to be a little bit different flavor, but you can treat them as 5160 and normally get away with it. I've never had a problem. Forever know, how long does it take for the bubbles to disappear when shaking 90 proof? I don't know. It's been so long since I've had anything that's as low as 90. I couldn't tell you. Lockley, I messaged you over on Patreon. Not sure if that goes straight to you. No, it does. The only issue I've been having here lately, guys, is simply because I've got messages coming in from a couple of different streams at this point, and so it's getting a little bit of a jumble to take up. But no, if you send me a message directly on Patreon, it's coming to me. Aurora, Illinois. All right. Mark, I should be able. Welding supply in Aurora, Illinois. Okay. Looks like you've got WeldStar and Airgas there. Now, Airgas doesn't always carry steel, but a lot of them do. Let's see. They're more of a. Let's see who else is there. Steel Supply. Looks like you've got an Anco up there. So there's an Anco steel. And I will bet you that's where you're going to go. That's ANCO Steel Company. So those are going to be the people you can buy your mile from. So like I said, and the steel prices are not going to be that drastically different from what they are down here. Steel prices are pretty much universal. But they're a commodity, so it kind of floats up and all that kind of good stuff. So, Colin, what's the best way to clean up the rough cast down my hardy hole? It's not easy to get in dress so the tools don't bind. So Colin, this is an eternal issue. The only thing that you can do, now depending on how big your hardy hole is, a file is going to be the only thing that you can use. I've had to modify like a really coarse, you want the coarsest file that you can get, which is usually called a bastard file. And sometimes it's too wide, and if it was too wide, I took a grinder and shaved down the sides so I could get it in there and actually work it. But understand that you're filing on steel that's over 2 inches thick. It's going to be a long time getting that right. I don't ever, normally I don't ever try to clean up a hardy hole. There's no point to it. I resize them, so I actually blow the hardy hole out and I drop in a sleeve and weld it in. That's how much I hate trying to file a hardy hole. So. Nathan Hawkins is here. In Evie, you guys have access to McMaster Car or Metal Supermarket. We do Evie, but McMaster and Metal Supermarket are both stupid high prices. You want to be able to buy local, because what happens with McMaster, I mean, they're already figuring in shipping plus thing. So McMaster or any place that you order it from is always going to be way, way higher. Can you fold rebar a buttload of times, like as in Damascus, to mix the content of it and increase the grain structure to make it better than the original state? Corey, all right. So one of the reasons that they folded that out was to homogenize it. That's just to even everything out. It's not, it's not going to increase or decrease the grain structure. It's just going to even it. And the problem is there's so much other crap in there. You don't know what other alloying elements are in there. So technically, would it make it better? Yes. But that's like adding glitter to a turd ball. It's got glitter, but it's still kind of a turd ball. Max, do you need flux to forge weld, or can you go without? You can go without, but there's no point to. Flux cleans up the metal. It almost guarantees a good weld, and it's super cheap. A box of 20 mule team borax, which will last a beginner months, may be $5 or $6. So you can, but why would you? Roy, what's up, buddy? Set does look great, man. I am so excited. Like I said, I've still got some tinkering to do, but man, I have been a busy little boy. 8 days of work to get this room set up and done. So I am excited. Shouldn't you be out making money, dude? All right, let's see. Aerospace machining shops. Okay. All right. Nathan, for hardy hole issues, they have an air-powered belt sander at Harbor Freight for $100. It works great for tight spots. See, now here's the problem, though, Nathan. Even an inch square hardy has a hard time of getting that sander down in there. There's not a great solution for cleaning a hardy hole. The only solution I've ever found that has worked and worked well is actually blowing it out and dropping a sleeve down in there, a preformed sleeve. That's been the best thing I could ever do. All of the anvils in my shop, they're working anvils, have the same size hardy hole because I've actually made sleeves and welded them in place. So that's why they're so clean and nice looking. Clean and nice looking. All right. Well, guys, like I said, I have got to go help a family member today, but I wanted to get this live stream in. Guys, I am looking forward to getting back into filming. I think we're going to try to do live streams over the next couple of weeks, over probably Tuesday and Thursday evenings, with videos coming out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Trying to get this into some type of reasonable schedule. So, like I said, it's been a week off and it's been kind of crazy. And like I said, we got a lot of cool stuff, and yeah, it's going good. Now, one thing that you guys may not know about, and I want to tell you here because I know my Patreons know about this, and I'm going to crack open the book just a little bit. I have recently been in talks with a museum, and there may be a chance for us to start doing some pretty cool historical work, kind of like a little bit like black iron. Not black iron, but kind of sort of close. So more information on that as we get there. So, but anyway, you guys be good. Thank you all for being here. We got more good stuff coming out. Thank you guys again, and all of y'all have a wonderful and safe and hopefully a dry Saturday afternoon. You guys be good. Hey, watch this. End credits.